HOA president used my driveway, so I built a toll booth. I never thought my driveway would become the center of a neighborhood war. Before all this, my life was quiet, peacefully boring, even. I lived on a corner lot in a calm suburban neighborhood where the loudest sound was usually a lawnmower on Saturday mornings or kids riding bikes after school. My house wasn't flashy, but it had one unusual feature: a long, paved private driveway that connected two main roads. It wasn't designed as a shortcut. It was built that way decades ago, long before traffic lights, rush hours, and impatient drivers ruled the streets. But over time, people realized something. If you cut through my driveway, you could skip a brutal traffic light and save nearly 10 minutes every morning. At first, it was occasional. One car here, another there. I didn't love it, but it didn't bother me enough to start a fight. Then she arrived. Her name was Linda. Linda was the HOA president. And Linda believed rules were for everyone else. The first warning sign started on a Monday morning. I remember because I had just poured my coffee and stepped onto my porch to enjoy the sunrise. That's when I heard it. A loud engine roar. A silver Mercedes came flying down my driveway at nearly 40 miles per hour. It missed my trash cans by inches. The driver didn't slow down. Instead, she waved at me. A casual, entitled wave, as if my property were her personal road. That was Linda. I let it go. People make mistakes, right? But the next morning, it happened again. And the next. And the next. Every single morning at the same time, Linda treated my driveway like an express lane. She didn't stop. She didn't slow down. She sped through, completely ignoring the fact that this was private property where my kids played and my dog often ran freely. One morning, my dog barely escaped being hit. That was it. The confrontation. The following day, I decided to stop her. I stood at the edge of my driveway just before her usual time. Sure enough, the silver Mercedes appeared, engine roaring like clockwork. I stepped forward and waved my arms. She slammed on her brakes, visibly annoyed. She rolled down her window just an inch. "What?" she snapped. I stayed calm. "Linda, this is a private driveway. You can't use it as a shortcut. It's dangerous for my family and pets." She stared at me, and then laughed. She actually laughed. "Oh, please," she said. "I'm the HOA president. All exterior pathways fall under my jurisdiction." I blinked. "This driveway is not HOA property." She smirked. "I'm inspecting the asphalt. Now move." Before I could react, she revved the engine and forced me to jump into the grass as she sped past. That was the moment something snapped. This wasn't ignorance. This was arrogance. And arrogance needs consequences. Doing it the right way. I didn't want to do anything illegal. I didn't want drama that could come back on me. So instead of reacting emotionally, I decided to do something smarter. I went to City Hall. I requested property records. And there it was in black and white. My driveway was 100% private property. No easement, no HOA ownership, no shared access. It belonged to me. Then I dug deeper: local zoning laws, municipal codes, transportation regulations. That's when I found it. A small clause buried deep in the regulations. Owners of private roadways may restrict access or charge for usage and maintenance via a toll system, provided proper signage is displayed. I stared at the screen. Then I smiled. The plan. If Linda wanted to use my driveway like a highway, she could pay highway prices. I ordered a solar-powered automatic boom barrier, the kind you see at parking garages. It wasn't cheap, about $2,000, but this wasn't about money. This was about principle. I also ordered a high-resolution security camera, reflective warning signs, a custom metal sign that read, "Private toll road automated barrier fee, $50, cash on lino U-turns." I spent the entire weekend installing it. Concrete footing, bolts tightened, camera perfectly angled. By 3 a.m. Monday morning, the toll booth was live. Linda had no idea what was coming. Monday morning karma. At exactly 7:15 a.m., I sat on my porch with a cup of coffee and my phone open to the camera feed. Right on time, the silver Mercedes appeared. She entered my driveway at full speed. Then, screech. She slammed on her brakes just inches from the bright yellow barrier arm. She honked. Once. Twice. 3 times. She thought it was broken. I walked outside slowly, wearing a reflective safety vest. She rolled down her window, face red with rage. What is this nonsense? Get this thing out of my way. I'm late. I calmly pointed to the sign. Good morning, ma'am. Welcome to the private toll road. The fee for non-residents is $50. Cash only. She exploded. I'm not paying you a cent. Move it or I'm calling the police. I shrugged. You're welcome to call them. Then I nodded behind her. Because while she was stopped, 3 other cars had entered my driveway. Other people who had been using my shortcut illegally. The driveway was narrow. No one could reverse. They were trapped. The honking started. Move. What are you doing? Lady, I'm going to be late. Linda was sweating now. She checked her watch, checked the barrier, checked the angry drivers behind her. Finally, she opened her designer purse and pulled out a crisp $50 bill. She threw it at me. Take it. You're insane. I inspected the bill, pressed the remote, and lifted the barrier. She sped off. Best $50 I ever made. The police show up. An hour later, a police car pulled into my driveway. Linda was with them, wearing the smuggest smile I'd ever seen. Arrest him, she yelled. He's running an illegal business. I calmly handed the officer a binder. Inside, my property deed, zoning law printouts, my newly registered business license for private road maintenance services. The officer read silently. Then he looked at the sign. Then at Linda. He struggled not to laugh. Ma'am, he said, this is private property. He's within his rights. You don't have to use his driveway. Linda's face went pale. And if you block his business again, the officer added, you could be fined. She had no response. For the first time, her authority meant nothing. The aftermath. That evening, I sent a polite email to the neighborhood. Due to increased maintenance costs, the private driveway is now a toll road. Rates apply. Funny thing happened after that. Nobody used my driveway again. No speeding cars, no honking, no entitlement. Just peace. I framed the $50 bill and hung it in my garage next to the barrier remote. A reminder, you don't mess with private property. And you definitely don't underestimate someone who knows the law. Final lesson. Linda eventually stepped down as HOA president. Turns out, when people see someone abuse power, they start asking questions. As for me, I got my quiet mornings back. And the satisfaction of knowing that karma doesn't always come loud. Sometimes it comes with a toll booth.